All right, you're good to go.
Okay, fantastic. Good evening, everybody. My name is Josh Duhan. For those of you who do not know me, I am a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I've had that honor and privilege now, and really a prosperity in the few short years I've been active in the business, but tremendous prosperity from a health standpoint all my life. I've been swallowing Juice Plus capsules since I was about 10 years old. My mother, who is on with us this evening, and my lovely Aunt Cheryl, who a lot of you know, we're very, very health conscious and already partnered with this company prior to the Juice Plus products being brought into market. So when they were introduced by our company in the early 90s as really a juicing replacement, at the time we all decided we liked the water and air filtration systems we were already using from them. So we would give this a shot. And man, 26 years later, what an incredible journey. What a blessing for my entire family. My mom's, she's going to get upset with me for saying this, but into her 60s. My aunt, little past that. My dad into his 70s. And everybody in my family is healthy. And everybody in my family is prescription medication free, which is really an anomaly if we look at, just the average across our country as a whole. And we all know this has made a big difference. The Juice Plus products are pretty simple. I'm going to give you guys just a quick overview of them, and then we're going to go to our guest speaker for the evening. What you see me holding up here this evening is what we refer to as the Core 4, or the Quad Pack. In the green bottle, we're going to have a vegetable blend. In the fruit bottle or red bottle, we'll have a list of fruits. The purple of berries. And the orange bottle, all the way in the back here, is our new full spectrum omega. And when people take one dose of Juice Plus, which is 2 capsules out of each of these bottles that you see per day, they're getting the equivalent of about 3 fresh pressed juices, around 30 different servings of fruits, vegetables, berries, grains, and a full spectrum plant-based omega. And really what we have here, guys, is a bridge in a gap that most of us have, which is the difference between the food we're eating and the food we really need to eat every day. The Juice Plus company provides us this food at about $3.48 a day. So affordable for just about any of us who are health conscious. We also have a complete powder. I use this every day. I take and put this in a shaker bottle with some vanilla milk, sometimes just some cold water. I like it either way. I shake it up and I take my capsules and I take my powder and I kick off my day like that, and I do that every day. And the thing that I love about that is this plan goes with me wherever I go. Out here in Southern California right now in January, I'll be in Texas for 3 weeks, and I know I'll be eating all this different food every single day, no matter where I go. So at this point, we've got a lot of science behind this product, none to speak of when it was launched. And now 26 years later, it's the most researched product in the marketplace today. If you ask Siri, what the most researched product in the world is, ours pops up, which is pretty cool. So without further ado, I'm going to go to our first guest speaker for the evening. Her name is Charlene Woodruff. And she is a nurse and a mother and has a Juice Plus story that she would like to share with all of us this evening. Charlene, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I sure can. You go right ahead and take the speaker from me and let us hear your journey with Juice Plus.
Okay. Thank you so much, Josh, and thank you, Carol, for asking me. Well, my journey is a long one, but I'm going to tell it as short as I can. I have been a registered nurse since high school. That's all I know how to do. I don't even know how to type. And I went into nursing wanting to take care of people. And so that's what I have done for over 40 years. But the sad truth was, when I started taking care of people, adults and children, I found that I was not helping them the way that I thought that I would be. I really wanted to get into nursing to cure people and get them well, and that was not always the case. So I had people dying in my arms, children as well as adults, and it did not feel good. As a matter of fact, I had a baby, and my baby died, and there was nothing I could do except feel very, very helpless. So fast forwarding to just a few years ago, I was working. I was working out. I was eating healthy. And I was really having things I thought going really well. And then all of a sudden one day I got up and I exercised, and after that I was so sleepy. I slept for 6 hours. And I thought that was unusual. And the next day my entire mouth broke out in cold sores. So for 6 weeks I was sick, going to doctors. They could not figure out what was wrong. The biggest thing was that I started to have pain. I was accustomed to working out and walking 5 miles a day. After that, just walking 10 minutes made my body ache like a toothache. So, out of desperation, what I did is I took a 21-day juice fast. And within 3 or 4 days, I felt better. The pain was better. I had more energy. I was able to sleep. And I thought, this is wonderful. And one thing that I discovered was raw and living food, which is whole plant-based food that I really did not know about. So at the end of 21 days, I felt absolutely wonderful. So I went back to my life. I did still have some pain, but when you go back to working and to your regular life, you really don't have time to do the juicing the way that I was doing it before. So what I did is I started to work with other people and just teach them what I had learned, which was a little, as far as plant-based food, raw and living food, and the power of plants. And it did help a lot of people, but it was not a complete cure. So let me just look at my little cards here. The juicing was actually expensive, and buying the juice already prepared was about $3 or $4 for each container. Maybe had 2 or 3 juices in it. But that was the best I could do at that time. I went to my doctor and I found that I had Lyme disease and I couldn't open even a cap on a bottle. So she gave me some things that I could do, and fast forwarding, I started to take Juice Plus, and right away it made sense because I knew what it had done for me before. And with it being in the capsules, I didn't have to juice. I didn't have to buy all of the fruits and vegetables. I didn't have to wash them. So it was really very easy for me. And it was amazing. Immediately, I started to feel a difference. I started to have less pain. I started to be able to sleep again at night. And I thought, this is wonderful. And this is one of the things that I noticed. I've always had a laxative colon. My mother did. My grandmother did, which means constipation. And I could poop very easily without a problem. And that was really, very nice. I know now what my mother says, how she felt. So to me, Juice Plus was the best thing since sliced bread, and especially sliced gluten-free bread. So that was what brought me to Juice Plus. The things that I really liked about it is it was something that worked. And as I got my customers on Juice Plus, I was able to see a difference. So some of the ones that I have now, my sister was diagnosed this year with rheumatoid arthritis, and she chose Juice Plus rather than the steroids. She is now almost totally pain-free, and she notices a big difference and knows that it's Juice Plus. She has talked with 2 of her doctors about it, and they want to get more information. Also, I have a friend, she has very bad diabetes. She has done the Shred 10, which is a 10-day program each month. She could only see a huge computer screen because the words had to be very large. She went to her doctor, and her vision is now 20/24. So she was really, really excited. And one of my other friends, who is actually a distributor, a partner, her mother went to the emergency room one night with a 700 blood sugar. She was not even a diagnosed diabetic, but she became one. Since that time, her mother's arthritis flared up and she was in bed all day. She said that she went by one day because she had decided to give her mother some of her Juice Plus capsules and shakes. She went by and her mother was sitting at the table with her husband eating. They were playing dominoes, and she has not seen that in years. So those are the good things, and it feels so much better to see these good outcomes rather than what I was seeing in the hospital. This is something I will do the rest of my life because I see what it does for me and I like helping other people, and that's why I share it with other people. They might not feel immediate results, but I know what it's doing for their body. So what I did today, Josh, is I went to the computer because I wanted to just show proof. I don't know if you all can see this, but this is something that I printed from the CDC. And this is exactly what it says. This is not from Just Juice Plus. This is from the CDC. It says 3% of the people do not meet the federal fruit or vegetable recommendations, according to a new study. Next, it said, this report highlights that very few Americans eat the recommended amount of fruits and vegetables every day, putting them at risk for chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, even cancer and obesity. It goes on to say 7 of the 10 leading causes of death, that's a lot, 7 in 10 of the leading causes of death in the United States are from chronic diseases. Eating a diet rich in fruits and vegetables daily can reduce the risk of many leading causes of illness and death. That is profound. Then another one here says the findings indicate a need to identify and address barriers. And they mentioned what some of the barriers were, but this was what I found outstanding. It said the CDC guide to strategies to increase the consumption of fruits and vegetables suggests 10 strategies to increase these. Well, Juice Plus has one simple change, a very easy way to do it. And I also wanted to just mention to you briefly as the business, because I'm not a salesperson. I like to talk to people, but I don't want to sell anything. But with Juice Plus, I'm just sharing the information. And the thing that I absolutely love about this company is that there are so many disparities here in the United States. I don't live anywhere else, so I don't know what those are, but I do know here in the United States. And what I have told my customers and people that I have talked with about the business is that Juice Plus fixes that, because you can be a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian chief, and everybody can get to the same level, make the same amount of money. And I have never worked for a company that makes you feel good. The people in the company treat you nice, they're friendly, they're compassionate, and they care about people. You won't find that anywhere else. So I encourage people that I talk with to join the company for those reasons, so that they can get the benefits, but also to have a place that they can feel really good going to. And lastly, I grew up on a farm with gardens. So I grew food, and I absolutely love to see fruits and vegetables growing. It's to me a miracle to put a seed in the ground and see it produce tomatoes or eggplants or bell peppers. So with this, I don't have to go out and dig in the dirt again and get Lyme disease, which is what happened. But I can have this right in my kitchen, in my dining room, to be able to produce just as many fruits and vegetables as I was growing outside. So I think that's about it. I'm in a position now where I can help people, and I'm going to do this as long as I possibly can. So that's it.
Charlene, thank you so much for your time and your story. I know so many of us have the same sentiments you do about the simplicity of this, and how much sense all of it makes from a product and a business standpoint. So thank you. I think we've got one other person we can go to this evening. I believe Erin's on the line with us, and said she'd be happy to kind of share her journey. Erin, would you spend a few minutes with us here, sharing your point of view on the products in the company here?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on. So my journey started with my daughter. We have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old, and our 10-year-old has always been high energy, struggle to focus, listening, and having difficulty with impulse control. And it was something that I thought that maybe she would possibly grow out of. but it just seemed like instead of getting better, it kind of got worse as more things were expected of her in terms of maturity and age and what she was, these different types of developmental markers were supposed to be taking place. It wasn't taking place, or they were delayed for her. And so preschool was tough. And kindergarten was even more difficult. And she was going to preschool. It was like a preschool daycare. So she was going all day. And then when we went to kindergarten, she did just, it was just mornings. And then when she went to first grade, I was very nervous, thinking of how such a structured school day, how that was going to be for her. And so when we would get her, conference notes of like progress reports or whatever, it would be like, you know, struggling socially, not meeting certain markers when it comes to academics and success in the classroom. And so basically, by the time the second semester came around for first grade, her reading intervention specialist and her teacher said that they wanted to have a meeting. And I knew exactly what it was going to be. None of this was news. I just didn't know how to help her. And I didn't know what was going on. We had tried all kinds of different things, and everything that we tried, it just never seemed to work. So basically, the second semester of her first grade year, she was diagnosed with ADHD. And so we didn't know other options out there. And so we went to the pediatrician and we started on a prescription medication. And it was really difficult. She had an extended release, and it only worked for a portion of the day. And so she would do really well, because we would get progress reports every day. She'd do really well in the morning for like the first 4 hours, but then she would struggle in the afternoon. And then in addition to that, she was very irritable. She struggled socially. She'd just be kind of combative when it came to social, emotional relationships. And she still was struggling academically. Trying to work on homework was like pulling your hair out. It was really, really difficult. And in addition to the prescription medication, we were doing homeopathics. We were doing a multivitamin, a probiotic. I've even tried supplements. And it was either they didn't work, they either worked, but then there were holes, or they worked really well, but then there was some other type of negative effect. And so basically I started doing my research. I'm like, what else can I do? Because obviously this isn't working for us. And so I started looking into different foods, things to put into her body to help her. And it was the first time that I decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try to see what omegas can do for her. So basically, the beginning of this past summer was the first time we tried an omega-3 supplement. Within a week, we noticed a difference in just how she was more aware, how she was getting along with others. And I was like, there is really a nutritional component to this for our daughter. And so after seeing changes with her socially, emotionally, we were also seeing, and this was huge for us, she started putting on weight. She was with her ADHD, she's always struggled to just sit and eat as much as her body really needs. And we were noticing that we weren't having to say, okay, take another bite, take another bite, take another bite, but that she was actually saying she's hungry, eating when she was hungry, and stopping when she was full. And so then I was like, goodness gracious, I need to start learning more about this. A friend of mine, kind of out of the blue, was like, you know what? I've heard of this company, Juice Plus. And she was like, I think you should look into it. And so I was like, at first, no, I'm just going to go ahead and do what I've been doing. Cause I was at that point, I was kind of like almost, tired of trying new things. But then I was like, as I was researching, I was like, I really think I should look into this some more. And as I was researching some more, I was watching some of the videos, Juice Plus videos. Also, I was watching other people on YouTube and the amazing stories of the benefits that people were seeing. And I was like, oh my goodness. And the people that were nutritionists, dietitians, medical doctors, dentists, all these people. And I was like, there is something to this. So I'm going to look into it more. And so when I heard about the Healthy Starts program, I was like, I've got to try this. And so we started in October of this year. And so we have been on it for two months, and she's been doing really, really well in school. And so we are so happy that we found Juice Plus, and we can't wait to see what more amazing things that are going to come for our family. So,
Erin, wow, that's really cool. You know, we hear that actually quite a bit in reference to ADHD issues and the plant-based omega. Little bit more information on this because it's pretty cool in that there's not really anything else out there in the market like it. That I know of. We have here, first off, a full spectrum omega. So most people, you know, prior to the Juice Plus Omega had been familiar with an omega-3. A lot of people were already taking omega-3. Omega-3, a lot of clinical data that shows it's a great anti-inflammatory. But there were a certain category of people that couldn't take an omega-3 because it came from fish oil and they were allergic to fish. So those people were totally out of luck when it came to an omega-3. And then there were other people like vegans who, you know, didn't want to use any kind of meat products whatsoever. And so Juice Plus put together an omega here that is really friendly to a big audience. It's 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So it's a full spectrum omega, not just a 3, and 6, 7, and 9, very important for brain health. But the other cool thing Juice Plus did was they kind of cut out the middleman. They got rid of the fish. And so they went and harvested the omega-3 directly from the algae. They put in a series of other omega spectrums also coming from plants. And as with all of our Juice Plus products, totally vegan, even the capsules. So just a really inventive, kind of ahead of the curve. You know, if you really look at the Juice Plus company, its vibe and its feel, it's really cutting edge, leading the industry in health technology, food, how it heals the body, what spectrum of food the body really needs. You know, the other interesting thing about our product line is the Juice Plus company will actually photograph energy signatures of food. And what they do is they formulate a variety of different food groups. They put together food groups that actually form the highest energy signature. And that's what goes into our product line. And so we've got something, guys, with a ton of science behind it, product-specific science. All of our clinical studies, we're actually utilizing Juice Plus products in the study, and they're blind and double-blinded. So they had 2 test groups, right? They had a group that got the real thing, and they had a group that got a placebo, you know, and they tested both groups. And, you know, all these findings always come back the same, in that, you know, a reduction of inflammation in the body. Inflammation being the chronic starting point of all disease and illness. Anything that the body is going to manifest in terms of disease is going to start off as inflammation. And so this stuff has been shown time and time again to reduce inflammatory markers. So, you know, guys, we meet like this every Thursday. Next Thursday, we will not be meeting. We're going to have a holiday week there. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. The following Thursday, though, we will be right back at it. I don't know the date on that right off the top of my head, but just mark it in your calendar, 2 weeks from tonight. And we're going to close out the evening for now. We are going to go right into a training. So if any of you would like to hang out for that, Cheryl is going to be talking about closing tactics and strategies as it pertains to closing customers and distributors in this business. So Carol, go ahead and shut it off, and we'll roll into the next event here.